Hey guys, Mitch here again. I figured since I recently uploaded a video of my Retrotink settings for the channel, I thought I would upload my current OBS settings for future reference to myself even, just in case I need to come back and if something gets messed up, I can reference this video and you guys can use it too. The video quality is very high. The file sizes are quite small for the quality, and they run silky smooth. So let's go over to the scene. This is how I have it set up. I have the audio input capture set up as a separate channel because I do notice that there can be an audio desync issue with certain Elgato devices. I had a lot of issues with my Cam Link 4K regarding this, and I had to scrub several videos because of it. So I have separated the two into each individual channel, and apparently that helps with that issue. And I haven't had any issues since I've done that, so I will say that is true. So first, let's go into the video capture device, and we have our Elgato 4K-X here. It's been a great capture card. I love this thing. It's fantastic. Just make sure if you're using a Zen 3 motherboard that you don't use a B550, because apparently the USB controllers, they don't like to play nice with the USB 3.1 that the Elgato 4K-X uses. So I had to switch back to an X570 board, and the audio crackling issues that came from the faulty USB controllers went away. So if you are using AMD Zen 3 architecture, make sure you use an X570 board instead of a B550. That shouldn't matter too much nowadays because that's kind of an older board, but a lot of people out there are using DDR4, and especially with the new 5800X 3D release coming up, there will be a final resurgence of the Zen 3 architecture, the GOAT. It's been a great, it's been a wild ride with those AMD processors. But so here's what I have. I have the resolution set to 4K, 3840 by 2160. Even though my Retrotink outputs 1440p, I still have it set to 4K. And my videos are at 4K, even though the base resolution is 1440p. And that takes advantage of U2's higher encoding for higher resolutions. I have the FPS set to the 60 FPS NTSC, which is 59.94 FPS. That seems to be the most smoothest across the PS5 Pro and the Retrotink. And then everything else is basically default. I did uncheck use hardware decoding when available, and I set the audio input mode to capture audio only with a custom audio device being the Elgato itself. So pretty simple. Just let the Elgato choose the color settings and the video format settings. So let's get into the meat and potatoes here. For output, these are my streaming settings. I use these streaming settings just when my buddies want to watch me play the games that I'm currently recording. It's just a basic 720p stream with a nice high bit rate for the resolution. Seems to work pretty well. I have a pretty decent internet, but I think that'll work for most people. And it looks good as far as a 720p stream goes. Recording, this is the important part. I have a nice little folder that I keep all my videos in for my recordings, and I have them all organized and named and everything, so when I go to edit them or merge them for the shorter videos, I don't lose track of them. There's a new recording format called Hybrid MP4. It's got all the benefits of an efficiency of an MP4. You know, it plays nicer with the video players, and it also has the ability to. It doesn't have the container issues that an MP4 has. On an MP4, say you're recording a game and you have a power outage, and the power goes out and the video stops because the program stops. Because the end container wasn't put on the MP4, only the start container, the file will be corrupted and unusable. And I've run into that a couple times. And for my Final Fantasy X-2 final video, I actually had to pay $40 to have the corrupted file recovered, and even then it had audio issues. The hybrid MP4 has all the benefits of MP4, but the fluidity of MKV, which if you stop MKV while you're recording it, it just stops it right there without any issues. So this hybrid MP4 format's really cool. I like it a lot. I upgraded. I was using H.264 before. For my 1440p videos, I've switched to NVIDIA NVENC. I also have a 2080 Ti now instead of a 2070 Super, so I got a little more juice to work with. Before, I noticed the videos were a little choppier when I was using the NVENC encoder, and I think maybe it was just a little too much for that 2070 Super, but the 2080 Ti I have now has 11 gigs of VRAM, so it's more. I got more room to play with, and it seems to work really well. Other than that, I don't mess with any of this stuff. The big thing here is constant QP, and then the rate is 25. They say to have a really high quality QP recording, you want it to be about 20, 16 to 20. But you have to realize that YouTube compresses the videos anyway. So why not just have the raw video have a little bit smaller file size, and you really can't tell the difference. I mean, the video quality might be a little less, but it's not really noticeable. So the file size benefits will far outweigh the placebo loss in quality, and YouTube compresses it anyway. So this is really good for uploading. The P2 preset, I have it set to lower quality. You just got to play around with this. Every computer's different. Every computer's gonna process video files differently based on your specs. And if you set this up to like a higher setting, like like P5, P6, P7, especially in high motion videos, you're gonna get some choppiness. It's gonna bog down your video player and your processor. And I find that the lower quality presets, they still look good. P2, I mean, it looks great. So, and it doesn't bog down my PC. I have a 5600X3D. I plan to upgrade to a 5800X3D just to take advantage of the last hurrah of this chipset. But yeah, tuning is high quality. Multipass mode and look ahead and adaptive quantization. I have all these enabled. I tried messing around with these to see if I could get the videos a little less choppy with the higher encoder settings. But I realized that really wasn't affecting it. It was just having the lower quality encoder preset was affecting the choppiness of the videos. And these play a big factor in the video file having better keyframes for editing and lower file size, which is big when if you're doing like a 2-hour long 4K recording on a PS Pro. I mean, you get these files that are like 150 gigabytes at this quality, which is wild. I mean, that's a lot of storage space, and you're constantly having to delete your old videos to make room for the new ones. I mean, I even have I have a 2 terabyte solid state, and I still have storage issues on those old settings. Having these enabled really lowers the file size. So on a PlayStation 1 game, because the video isn't as busy, I guess, for encoding, I'm looking at like 10 gigabytes for an hour and a half long video. That's in 4K and in great quality. That's the size of the Suikoden videos that I just uploaded, and that's great. For PlayStation 4 Pro, the Final Fantasy video that's a little over an hour, that's 30 gigabytes. I mean, that's really good for like a really sharp 4K 60 frames per second video. 30 gigabytes for about an hour and 20 minutes. That's fantastic. So these are big benefits. having the multipass mode enabled, look ahead, and adaptive quantization. They improve the processing of the video and make how the file handles the data more efficient, apparently, including keyframes. So these are nice benefits to have. B frames I have set to 2. Keyframe interval set to 0. I'm not educated enough to know the specifics behind these settings. This just seems to look smoother, in my opinion. Go over to the video. I have the base and output resolution set to 4K, and then it matches the settings on the audio capture device area here. So, but advanced, I haven't messed with any of this stuff. I did disable hardware acceleration in Windows, and then I also set this to run as administrator, OBS to run as administrator every time in the file. But that's pretty much it. Pretty simple. I've tinkered around with so many different settings to try to find the magic sauce, so to speak, with the Retrotink and the Scanlines, and turns out the best settings are fairly simple, as you can see from my Retrotink settings video and also from this. I guess the developers do know what is right and set it as the defaults. So again, thank you for watching, and I hope these help somebody out there. See ya.